accounting. This is a regular yearly agenda from the DIE, Doctoral of Economic Science Study Program, under the Economic and Business Faculty, Untag Surabaya, and supported by all the other study program. Our theme today is Sustainable Economic Growth in the Age of Artificial Intelligence. This seminar brings together 5 institutions, University of 17 Agustus 1945 Surabaya, University Teknologi Mara UITM Malaysia, Adamson University Philippines, Universidade da Paz Timor-Leste, and Thai Global Administration Technological College Thailand. 5 university. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the host, I would like to extend the very warm welcome to all of you. We appreciate you taking time off your busy schedule to join us today. We hope you will find the program we have lined up for you to be fruitful and engaging. Yeah, as we all know, we have about 80 participants in this Zoom line, and we open the YouTube line as well. Thank you. Thank you again. Welcome for all of you. Welcome to Kampus Merah Putih e-meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, before we start the main session, allow me to introduce you to today's agendas. The first one is opening, and the second we have National Anthem, Indonesia Raya, and Hymne Untag. Third, opening speech. The fourth, speech from the keynote speaker. 5, presentation as the main session, and the sixth, closing. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, let us open this seminar by reciting Basmalah, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, with the name of Allah, the most merciful and the all-merciful. And next agenda would be an opening speech. Allow me to invite Professor Dr. Slamet Riyadi, MSc AK CA, the Dean of Economic and Business Faculty Untag Surabaya. Yes, please to deliver the opening speech. Professor Dr. Slamet Riyadi, please welcome. Time is yours.
Okay, thank you, ma'am, colleagues. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Selamat siang, salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan, rahayu rahayu, and good afternoon. The Honorable Professor Dr. Brianto Nugroho, SAMM, CMA, CPA, Rektor Universitas 17 Agustus 1945 Surabaya. The Honorable Dr. Marlon Rail Asterio, PhD. I think it's the first time we meet you in this seminar, Master, from Thai Global Business Administration Technological College, Thailand, and the Honorable Associate Professor Dr. Amirul Afif Muhammad from Faculty of Business and Management. Nice to meet you again. Maybe this is 3 times we meet you from UITM Puncak Alam, Malaysia, and the Honorable Ruben Naife GR, PhD. Good afternoon, Master. I think it's the 3 times maybe we meet you in this Zoom. Dean of Economic and Business, Adamson University, Philippines. And yes, the best my colleague, the Honorable Dr. Alexandra de Souza Guterres, LIC, HCOMM, Dean of Economic and Business, Universitas da Paz, Timor-Leste. My brother, I waiting you in Untag next month. I hope you can join us.
Oh iya. Boleh sore kali awal hari ini.
Okay. And I am part of the first dean, Dr. Ida Ayu Sri Bahmayanti MM, and head of Doktor Economic Science Program, Professor Dr. Hajah Triratnawati MS AK CPA CA, And moderator Icoema, Ibu Kolis Hidayati, MBE, AKCA, CPA, and all the committee that I am part of you. What I expect the good lecture from Economic and Business Untag Surabaya and participant of Icoema, International Conference and Economic Management and Accounting. I'm part of you. Okay, let us share our praise and gratitude to the person of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala for your mercy and guidance. Until now, we are still being given the pleasure of opportunity, the pleasure of strength, and God willing, the pleasure of health to continue our worship, our work, and our duties and services to society, the nation, and the beloved country. Blessing and salutation may we be devoted to our Lord, the God Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Peace be upon him, his family, friends, and followers of him, and inshallah including all of us until the end of time. Amin. Amin ya rabbal alamin. Ladies and gentlemen, it is fitting that we are grateful on this occasion. We can gather together with everyone in the context of International Conference on Economic Management and Accounting, Icoema. And their invitees, international activities of this convention will be held regularly every year or every 2 years with various series of activities and continued with colloquium activities for doctoral program students. Colloquium activities are intended to provide opportunities for students who will compose scientific work and the form of the dissertation and add references to broaden horizons in the field of research. With intention and sincere heads Lillahi Ta'ala, God willing, what we do in this activity, Allah SWT will record it as a good deed for us together. Amin. Ya Rabbal Alamin. May Allah SWT always give His mercy and guidance to our nation and country. Amin. Ya Rabbal Alamin. That's all and thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yes, thank you very much, Professor Dr. Slamet Riyadi, MSI, AKCA, for your delightful speech. Yes, this seminar is held by the Economic and Business Faculty, Untag Surabaya. There are 4 sessions held in 2 days, Friday 23rd June and Saturday 24th June 2023. On Friday we have seminar kebangsaan and Icoema, and on Saturday we have academic writing and sharing session. Ladies and gentlemen, Bapak-bapak, ibu-ibu sekalian, before we proceed the main session, it's now the time for the keynote speaker. Allow me to invite Professor Mulyanto Nugroho, MM.CPA. Welcome, please, Professor Mulyanto Nugroho. Time is yours.
Okay, thanks, Bu Kulis. Baiklah, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam damai sejahtera, Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan, Rahayu. Good afternoon, everyone. Before that, let's start the national greeting. Merdeka!
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 Freedom!
The Honorable Professor Dr. Slamet Riyadi, MSc, AKCA, Dean of the Faculty of Economic and Business Untag Surabaya. The Honorable Associate Professor Dr. Amirul Alif Nafif Muhammad from Universitas Teknologi Mara, Malaysia. Nice to meet you. The Honorable Mr. Ruben Naife, GR, PhD from Adamson University, Philippines. Nice to meet you. Second time untuk Surabaya. Selamat ya. Mr. Marlon Rel Astilero, PhD from Thai Global Business Administration Technology College, Thailand. Nice to meet you. the Honorable Dr. Alexandra de Sousa Guterres, Lik Eko MM from Universidade Davos, Timor-Leste, Professor Tri Ratnawati, the head Doctor Program Ekonomi, and the Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, let us pray and praise God, because of His blessing and mercy, we can come together without any obstacle for the International Conference on Economic Management and Accounting today. Now, I would like to explain about the impact of artificial intelligence on international trade. Ladies and gentlemen, AI development process, the beginning from information, I think 1980, to increase to decision support system, and now become artificial intelligence, which is a robotic system. Artificial intelligence stand to have a transformative impact on international trades. Already, specific application in area such as data analytics and translation services are reducing barrier to trade. At the time, there are challenges in the development of AI that international trade could address, such as improving global access to data-driven AI system. The Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the following provide an overview of some of the key AI opportunities for trade, as well as those areas where trade rule can help support AI development. The development of AI will affect international trade in a number of ways. One is the macroeconomic impact of AI and the related trade effects. For instance, should AI increase productivity growth, then this will increase economic growth and provide new opportunities for international trades. Current rate of productivity growth globally are low, and there are various such as costs. Ladies and gentlemen, one reason for low productivity growth, particularly relevant for understanding the potential link with AI, is that it takes time for an economy to incorporate and make effective use a new technology, particularly complex one, which economy-wide impact such as AI. They include time to build and large enough capital stock to have an aggregate effect, and for the complementary investment needed to take full advantage of AI investment, including access to skilled people and business production. The Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, AI is already having an impact on the development and management of global value chains. It can be used to improve prediction of future trends, such as change in customer demand, and to better manage risk along the supply chain. By allowing business to better manage complex and dispersed production units, such to improve the overall efficiency of global value chains. For example, business can use AI to improve warehouse management, demand prediction, and improve to accuracy of just-in-time or GIT manufacturing and delivery. Robotic can increase productivity and efficiency in packing and inventory inspection. Business can also use AI to improve physical inspection and maintenance of asset long supply chains. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all from me. I say welcome to enjoying to the International Conference on Economic Management and Accounting 2022-2023. I think enough. Good afternoon. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Merdeka.
Merdeka. Waalaikumsalam. Thank you, Prof. Mulyanto Nugroho. Yes, our topic today is sustainable economic growth in the age of artificial intelligence. Yes, artificial intelligence, an important and interesting topic in this modern era, where we have to combine advanced computer technology and the robust data sets to enable problem solving. In the same time, we have to care about sustainable economic growth. So these important things have to go hand in hand. And Professor Mulyanto Nugroho has explained the impact of artificial intelligence on international trade. Thank you for the great and meaningful speech, Prof. Nu. Thank you. Bapak Ibu yang berbahagia, ladies and gentlemen, now we proceed to the seminar agenda, our main agenda. And now allow me to get this session as the moderator for about next 2 hours. As explained before, in this international conference, we present 4 presenters: Dr. Marlon Rael Astillero, Dr. Alexander Guterres, Dr. Ruben Naif, and Dr. Amirul Afif Muhammad. Yes, let us now start this session. Let me invite all the distinguished speakers. The presentation will be arranged in this way. Because Dr. Amirul is still doing Sholat Jumat, yeah?
No, Prof. Amirul can ready, Prof. Google this.
Prof. Amirul is already here?
Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Dr. Amirul. Assalamualaikum. How are you?
Assalamualaikum.
Thank you.
Sudah sholat ya. Okay, so we still in the first arrange, yeah. The first one will be Dr. Amirul Afif Muhammad, and the second will be Dr. Ruben Naif. The third is Dr. Marlon Rael Astillero, and the last one will be Dr. Alexander de Souza Guterres. Okay, the 4 speakers. Yes, each speakers get about 30 minutes. All the 4 speakers will make the presentation in one time, and then we will continue the discussion session by having question and answer in the last part of this session. For all the audiences during this session, please kindly prepare your questions. You can have it either directly after the session or directly right on the chat room. The committee will manage them for you. We will try to set the questions on the screen, okay? And please, the questions should be short, brief, and directly go to the point. And now, please welcome the first speaker, Dr. Amirul Afif Muhammad from Malaysia. Assalamualaikum, Dr. Amirul.
Yeah, Waalaikumsalam. Blue, thank you
Good
for
to see
inviting me.
you. Yeah, it is the 4th time. Yeah, you are in Icoema. Dr. Amirul Afif Muhammad is
Yes.
the associate professor. Yeah, Dr. Amirul Muhammad is the associate professor from Malaysia. Yeah, Deputy Dean, Research and Innovation, Faculty of Business and Management, University Teknologi Mara, Malaysia. And today, Dr. Amirul will discuss about non-fungible token NFT in Malaysia and Indonesia, potentials and challenges as assets of Islamic wealth management. Yeah, recently, lately, we often read and find new terms like blockchain technology, and now we have a new one, non-fungible token. What is that, Miss? What is that, Dr. Amirul? It is what kind of food is that? NFT. Okay, okay. So now let us check out from Dr. Amirul presentation. Yes. Now it is your time, Dr. Amirul. You can make your presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chairperson. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good day to everyone. Of course, to the Rector, Prof. Dr. Mulyanto Nugroho, and also to the Dean of the Faculty, Prof. Dr. Selamat Riyadi, fellow speakers from the region, and of course, respected and beloved students. So thank you for inviting me for today's session, for today's ICOEMA 2023. So I would like to share from my early research or new research that I'm currently doing, basically on non-fungible token or NFT. And today I would like to share with regard from the perspective of Malaysia and Indonesia, and we are going to look in terms of the potential and challenges of how this can be a new asset for Islamic wealth management. Right, so this will be the agenda for today. Introduction, a bit on Islamic wealth management in terms of issues, potential challenges, and then we will be discussed for the conclusion. So when we talk about the potential of Islamic finance, I think most of you perhaps have some kind of idea with regard to Islamic finance, and this niche business segment is quickly expanding throughout the world, and even during the pandemic as well, the sector is still progressing a bit slow, but still progressing. And now after the post-pandemic, the sector is catching up again. And this particularly Islamic finance is getting or being fueled by the recent and distinctive invention as a result of AI, artificial intelligence. And if you look here in terms of the prospect, based on the Global Islamic FinTech Index 2022, some countries, for example, Malaysia and Saudi Arabia, being regarded as at the forefront, followed by Indonesia and the United Kingdom, as well as the United Arab Emirates or UAE, with the estimated income generated from the fintech, from the Islamic fintech industry to reach about 179 billion US dollar by 2026. And I believe that it's just a matter of time for Indonesia to catching up the rest due to the potential of the population, and also the unicorn or the fintech company that being developed and formed in Indonesia. And in terms of demand for Islamic finance, it's forecasted to outpace its conventional rival in most Muslim countries, such as Saudi Arabia, again, Malaysia, and as well as Indonesia. And I think if you look around, for example, country like Malaysia, Indonesia, we have what we call it a dual banking system, whereby we have the conventional financial system as well as the Islamic financial system that work in tandem or side by side. So basically, it is forecasted that in our countries, the Islamic finance will outpace in terms of the growth compared to the conventional. So we talk about Islamic wealth management. So basically, there are actually 5 main components. Just a brief of discussion on Islamic wealth management. So first, we start with wealth generation. So wealth generation, basically, we accumulate our wealth. We for example, we involve in business activities, or we work and we earn salary from that. So that is how we generate our wealth. Or if we are very lucky, we might inherit wealth in terms of assets, properties from our parents, for example. So that will be the wealth generation, and this wealth must be protected. So how to protect the wealth? Of course, one of the ways is through by insuring. In this context, we will take, for example, protection from takaful policy, and then this wealth, over the years, it will be accumulated, and we might want to invest the wealth in various other instruments, apart from being put in savings. We might now want to put it in Islamic fixed deposit, for example. We might want to invest it, and so on and so forth. And next would be in terms of purification. So this purification would be through, of course, zakat or the alms tax. And when we come to the wealth distribution, this is how either we donate to charity, or maybe we, bequeath, or we endow, or we wakaf it, to other, beneficiaries that we want to. So basically, these are the 5 components of Islamic wealth management, and for each component, from the perspective of Islamic banking sector, so these components should be supported with the relevant financial products. So when we talk about Islamic wealth management financial product, we can say that the products are quite saturated, in the sense that we are lacking of new product. And because of that, the demand for Islamic wealth management being tempered or being disturbed, because of the customers or the public sees that products are same over the years, and there's no difference, for example, between the conventional and Islamic in terms of new product that being offered. And to some extent, the competition also not that intense anymore due to the saturated products in the market. So now we move to the new potential product that might be possible for the Islamic wealth management. We call it as non-fungible token, or NFT. So what is NFT? So NFT is basically a fintech product that is actually a byproduct or being created through the blockchain technology. So it's kind of a unique digital store that able to record the data, which cannot be simply reproduced, or cannot be simply recorded or being tampered with. And to some extent, although this NFT is being protected in such a way, but others can still view it and use the object, with the ownership remains with the principal owner. So this is the good thing or the beauty of NFT, whereby that product, it cannot be reproduced or being changed by others easily, and the ownership still remains with the principal. So this is the features of NFT that is very unique. Okay, and in terms of the issues with regard to the not NFT issues with regard to the Islamic wealth management and even the wealth management in general, including conventional, as I mentioned earlier, oversaturated with traditional financial product over the years. And in the context of Malaysia, for example, it is being reported that the nation lost about 3 billion ringgit due to the intellectual piracy. And another report says that government also lost about 35% from the income tax due to piracy as well. So as I mentioned earlier, the NFT has features whereby the particular asset, in this context, we might referring to creative product, for example, film, photos, paint, pictures, for example. So these products are actually easily can be reproduced, can be infringed in terms of intellectual property. So by having NFT, it gives some element of protection to this kind of products, and especially to the film and creative art industry, so that those who are involved in the business will be able to protect their intellectual property, and government, for example, can earn income through the tax that being imposed on the players of this creative and also art industry. So that is how this NFT can be viewed as possible potential product for the future. And with regard to the demand, so later on, I will show you that demand for NFT is increasing, not only all over the world, but also for the region. And as I mentioned earlier, NFT is gaining popularity among artists of creative arts, such as painting, music, films. And because why? Because this sector has been long being plagued by the intellectual infringement. And NFT also has benefited and will bring them benefit by providing security and also able to preserve their asset value. So this is how NFT is able to provide to these particular players. And statistical forecast, income generated from global NFT business will be able to reach USD 1,601 million in 2023. And in terms of global market penetration or the development of this particular market, not that much, but considering the issues that affecting this industry, this can be considered as good, with 0.2% increment. And NFT users are estimated to be around 19.31 million by 2027. So this how the potential of NFT market, which should be grabbed by the banking sector, especially the Islamic finance sector. And in the context of Indonesia, for example, Indonesia's first ever NFT artwork, called as NFT Art Prize Moments, supported by Art Moments Jakarta. So Karafuru, whereby a collaboration between Museum of Toys and Indonesian artists, collection of vibrant animated pop art characters. So basically, through this joint venture, they have actually come out with kind of NFT product, of photos, and for this particular pop art characters. And it's just that the issues with this, and it's not only in Indonesia but also in the region, is that the regulation is still at infancy stage. This regulation of not only NFT but is actually over the fintech, in general, still at infancy, still developing. So there are some gray areas whereby some issues are not really clear, to the players as well as regulators. I think maybe for the students, they might know this particular person, I think Mr. Gustav Ghazali, so he's Indonesian students. So I think what is so interesting about his photos is that he started to record his photo for over the years, I think 3 to 5 years, and then for each of the day in the years, so he kept the photo and then he sell it. He started to sold it last time at around USD $3. And soon or suddenly the price of his photos able to pick up USD $1 million through NFT sale. So this shows the potentials that NFT can bring, not only to the creative industry, I mean those who really involved, but also to the maybe what we call it, those who take art as their hobbies. So we might have those who are in the industry, for example, the actor, the film industry, so on and so forth. So those are a dedicated group of creative art players. But we also have members of the public who taking art as their hobbies, and this can be one of their income, potential income or side income for them in the future. So now when we talk about the challenges, in the context of Sharia, from the Sharia perspective, in general, the use of NFT is Sharia compliant, but there are certain items, certain regulations that must be followed or adhere. For example, the substance and method in which the NFT was designed and administered are actually follow the Sharia principle. It means that the blockchain process and procedures, there are no issue with regard to the process and procedures of the blockchains. So basically, there is Sharia compliant. And then most prevalent products, such as creative arts merchandise that use NFT technology, must comply with the Islamic teaching. For example, if the musics, if let's say the NFT being used for music, then the music should not have, for the lyrics should not have a vulgar kind of words, So when it comes to the painting, for example, it must not reveal the outright or the body part that must be covered for a woman or man, for example. So these are the issues that must be looked carefully when it comes for NFT to be Islamic wealth management. But if we talk about NFT as a product for conventional wealth management, I think there's not not strict regulation compared to the Islamic wealth management. Yeah? And then the transactions such as price, agreement, mode of payment, and delivery must be clearly stated and transparent. So basically, these are the challenges that must be addressed by the Islamic wealth management industry before they can or able to accept NFT as part of the asset for wealth management. However, there's also another issue that we must bear in mind, that NFT is not the solution. NFT is not the only solution, because even though, as I mentioned, it cannot be reproduced or being tampered easily, but to some extent, yeah, they still can be, being recorded in such a way, in such a way whereby maybe through snapshots and so forth. Yeah, so it is not the original product, but still it resembles the original. To some people, they really do not care whether the product is original or not. As long as they have that kind of similarity, then they are, they can satisfy. But to the owner, yeah, to those who are having the license, so this is really an issue to them. And the buyer of NFT has limited rights. Yeah, even though I mentioned that the what we call it, the original rights of the NFT belongs to the owner, and it still can be sold. It can be sold, and if you are the buyer of the NFT, you have the rights. But here I put it limited rights. Yeah, for example, the adaptation rights, reproductive rights, and also communication rights. So these are the rights that must be addressed in the context of regulation. Yeah. If you remember just now, I mentioned that the regulation is still at infancy stage. So when it comes to NFT, so there's still issue that must be discussed and must be made crystal clear to everybody who are in the industry. As a conclusion, I would like to emphasize again, yeah, even though there are challenges, but if we look further, based on the potential of income generated from the NFT industry, millions of dollars, for example, is promised for the industry, and to some extent it provide protection and also it preserve the value of the asset for the creative and art industry, whereby this sector has long been plagued, has long been having intellectual property infringement. So NFT will be able to address that with regard with conditions that the regulators must provide a very clear regulation in terms of the process and procedure and how the rights of the NFT can be governed. And I think that's all from me. And I return back the session to the Madam Chairperson. Thank you. Virtually, I think you are muted.
Oh yeah. Okay, thank you, Dr. Amirul, for your interesting topic. Yeah, your topic is always new and fresh. Yeah, non-fungible token. Yeah, it's like cryptocurrency, blockchain technology, artificial intelligence. Yeah, it's some new terms in the world. Yeah, I'm sure that we still need your more explanation about this issue. And let us keep the question for the last session. Why is it so popular? How does an NFT make money? Yeah? Why anyone buy an NFT? What is NFT? Okay, but thank you, Dr. Amirul. Yes. Okay, and now let's get the second speaker, Dr. Ruben Naif Junior, PhD from Philippines. Yeah. Hello? Yeah. Since we don't get your paper, Dr. Naif, it's not your time. Please directly present your paper. And little bit introduction to the audience. Yeah. Status and challenges of artificial intelligence in the Philippines. Okay, it's time. It's your time. The time is for you, Dr. Naif.
Yes, okay.
Thank you.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Hello? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, yes. We can hear you. It's clear. Yes, that's good.
Clear. Yes.
Yeah, I'm just having a problem right now with my screen. Okay.
It's okay.
So
You
let me
can
just...
see your PowerPoint.
Okay. Good afternoon to everyone. So thank you for inviting Adamson University to be part of your international conference on economic management and accounting 2022. To all speakers, professors, administrators, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant afternoon. From your team, Sustainable Economic Growth in the Age of Artificial Intelligence, I'll be discussing about status and challenges of artificial intelligence in the Philippines. So this is not very much scholarly in terms of review of related literature, but this is more of information about artificial intelligence in the Philippines in relation to sustainable economic growth. By the way, I'm Dr. Ruben M. Naive Jr., the Dean of the College of Business Administration, Adamson University, Manila, Philippines. So for my presentation outline, so I'll give you a brief introduction about history of AI, concept of AI, the features of AI. Now we'll move to the Philippine AI landscape, barriers in the adoption of AI in the Philippines, Philippine National AI Strategy, the future of AI in the Philippines, and my conclusion. In fact, I did some comparison with ASEAN, selected ASEAN member countries. Okay, as to the history of artificial intelligence, I got this source from Zhang and Wu in 2021. As early as 1956, during the conference at Dartmouth University, the scholars formally proposed the term artificial intelligence or AI. It experienced a long development process with a history of more than 70 years. In the 1980s, backpropagation neural networks were widely recognized. Algorithm research based on artificial neural networks was rapidly developed. Computer hardware functions had rapidly improved, and the development of the internet reduced the development of artificial intelligence. In the first decade of the 21st century, the development of mobile internet brought more AI application scenarios. With the fourth industrial revolution, or 4IR, where AI projected to drive 70% of 4IR and is set to transform industries at unprecedented rate. This is according to our government Department of Trade and Industry in 2020 report. So what is artificial intelligence? I think mostly of us know already the very basic concept of AI, but just let me give you a definition of this from my presentation. AI, it uses computers to stimulate human intelligent behaviors and trains computers to learn human behavior, such as learn judgment and decision-making. I got this from Zhang and Lu in 2021. Another source coming from C 2022, it refers to any system stimulating human traits like reasoning, problem solving, or decision-making. So what are the features of AI or artificial intelligence? So the first one, we have deep learning. It is a machine learning technique that teaches computers to do what comes naturally to humans to learn by example. Okay, the one that we have, the self-driving feature in the cars, is a good example of this deep learning. The second one is facial recognition. This artificial intelligence has made it possible to recognize individual faces using biometric mapping, which a good example is the CCTV cameras. In fact, it's now being used in financial transactions also. What about the third one? The third AI, the artificial intelligence. The automate task. This artificial intelligence has the ability to execute the same kind of work over and over again without breaking a sweat. The one that we have, the Siri. I think some of you are using that. What about the data ingestion? This AI of manually feeding this data, AI enabled not just gather this data, but also analyzes it with the help of its previous experiences. The next artificial characteristics is cloud computing. With such a huge amount of data being churned out every day, data storage in a physical form would have been a major problem. So one example is the Microsoft Azure is one of the prominent players in the cloud computing industry. The next one is the quantum computing. AI is helping solve complex computing physics problems with the accuracy of supercomputers with the help of quantum neural networks. A pioneer in this field is Google AI Quantum. And lastly, the chatbots. I think you're familiar with this because many higher education institutions use this for their website to entertain queries, about enrollment, things about the school, programs, curriculum, etc. But chatbots are software to provide a window for solving customer problems through either audio or textual input. So when we say all of this, these are about AI. Let me go to my next slide. Okay, so I already gave the concept. So in the Philippines, AI is really new, So I got this information from our Government Department of Trade and Industry in 2021 report. Sad to say, Philippines ranked number 70 in 2017 among 100 countries surveyed. In 2019, we improved from being a 70 in the rank. Now we are 54. That was in 2019. But what is very good now in 2020, we rank number 15. And there is an increase in the number of countries surveyed, and that is out of 131 economies. Placing the country in the top 10 best ranked lower middle income economies. So if we group it based on the lower middle income economies, the Philippines is number 4 out of 29. All data are based on the Global Innovation Index. I think we can get more information about this. Okay, the Philippine economy is among the countries that have high innovation input-output performance, placing it among the global brand performers of the GII, or the Global Innovation Index brand value matrix. This means the ability to translate more effectively innovation inputs into innovation outputs. So let us see the ranking of the Philippines in 2020. So when we say ranking using the GII, so we're talking of institutions, human capital, and research, market sophistication, infrastructure, creative outputs, business sophistication, knowledge and technology outputs. So this is the report of DTI taken from the Global Innovation Index in 2020. So we are ranked number 91 when it comes to institution. We are ranked 86 when it comes to human capital and research. What about market sophistication and infrastructure? We are ranked 86 and 63 respectively. we're not good in terms of creative outputs, business sophistication, knowledge and technology output. So that is, we look at the Philippines, no, in terms of the global innovation index, because as we know that AI is part of this innovation that we're talking here. So let's move to my next slide when it comes to investment. So how do we look at the investment when it comes to AI? Okay. Sadly, the Philippines, out of 246 countries, no, in the ASEAN, we're the lowest, no, with less than 0.01. Then the highest, of course, this one is in terms of per capita income, US dollars. So that is the AI investment that we have in terms of artificial intelligence. Okay. Now Indonesia is 0.20. You are in the middle as compared to the Philippines. Okay. Again, what about the gross expenditure on research and development? Because this is part, no? When we say AI, then it has something to do with how the country look at the gross expenditure on the research and development. Again, among ASEAN countries, we include Myanmar. Without Myanmar, we are the lowest, no? Looking at the gross expenditure on research and development. So Singapore, of course, is the number one, no, in terms of gross expenditure on research and development. Okay, with all of this, there are barriers that we have to look into, no? We look lack of understanding of data science and AI. Actually, we just started, no, to be more conscious about data science. So there are now courses about data science. We are popular now with the data scientists. So there are a lot of talk about data analytics. And in fact, I'm a member of the Analytics Association of the Philippines. So where this is a new professional organization also. Second, the lack of knowledge on potential use cases, the lack of resources, the lack of data strategy, and uncertainties about legal and regulatory framework of AI. So how do we solve these barriers? So the government, what the government did is to put a framework, no? Okay. So before I discuss more about that framework, which I think almost all countries are in that direction, no? So how is AI adoption in the Philippines and in Southeast Asian countries? I think this is a survey conducted by Kine Analytics, which was mentioned again in the DTI report. They try to look at the stages of AI adoption. So the first stage, not interested in investing in AI. The second stage is keen to invest, developing AI strategy. The third stage, piloting initiation or initiatives within discrete activities. Stage 4, scaling initiatives across discrete activities. And then stage 5, end-to-end scaled implementation of AI. You know what? So the first, the second and the third stages is what we call early stages, okay? And the fourth and fifth stages are the so-called advanced stages. Look at ASEAN, okay? So ASEAN is 83%. What does it mean? 83% of the region is still in the early stages of AI adoption. I think when we look at the countries, Singapore, not bad, but the rest, Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, Philippines, and Vietnam are still in their stage 2 and stage 3. According to this, no interest in investing in technology, in the process of developing an AI strategy, piloting initiatives in the field. What about the sectors? What particular sectors are already advanced? So according to the report, that's why there is an encircle in the 17%, you have transport and logistics are already advanced in terms of this AI adoption. What about manufacturing, retail and hospitality, healthcare? So these are the sectors that would benefit the most from growth in the AI region. So that's why the sectors are, trying to do a lot of things so that they can join the AI, no? Okay. So with all of this, what happened to our digital quality of life index? So when we say DQLI, it means we're looking at the internet affordability, internet quality, electronic infrastructure, electronic security, and electronic government. Again, Philippines first. Where are we when it comes to the digital quality of life index? So this is ranking again. Excuse me. We're number 36 in terms of electronic government. We are number 46 when it comes to electronic security. And we are number 67 when it comes to electronic infrastructure. So the higher the number is not good. So look at our internet quality. So we're 84 in rank. And then internet affordability, we are number 79. Now, looking at the index, no, Philippines is 0.4672 when it comes to DQLI, which is second, no, lowest. And then you have Indonesia as the lowest, then the highest is Singapore. This is the DQLI when we talk of internet affordability, internet quality, electronic infrastructure, etc., etc. Okay, so what do we do now? So the government has to do something about this. So the Philippines crafted, in fact, it was already there, the Philippines National Artificial Intelligence Strategy. So what is this? The National Artificial Intelligence Strategy Roadmap to guide government and private sector stakeholders in employing AI technology. So what will be our objectives there? So number one, maintain the regional and global competitiveness of Filipino industries, because as you notice in the sectors, almost sectors are into it. So we have to do something about those sectors, no? Identify key areas for investing both time and resources of government, industry, and society. Third, recommend ways for effectively fostering a triple helix R&D collaboration. So which means participation of government, academia, and industry must be there. Fourth, suggest approaches for preparing the future workforce. You students must be doing this, and the academia for the jobs of the future. So don't worry, it doesn't mean that because of the AI, you'll be losing jobs. No, actually, they will need us, the human being, and attract the biggest industries to set shop in the country. Next, I will not discuss the entire roadmap. I will just give you something relevant or something important, no? So there are pillars, there are strategic dimensions, there are strategic imperatives, and then strategic tasks. The purpose, to ensure clear metrics in terms of tracking the progress of its implementation toward transforming the Philippines into a globally competitive, artificial intelligence-driven economy. So the two pillars that we're talking here, based on the structure of the global AI index, of course, we pattern to that because that is what we are, that is our guideline or guidance. The first pillar is the implementation. It reflects the operationalization of AI by practitioners in business, government, and community. What about the second pillar? Innovation. It reflects technology breakthrough and advancements in methodology that are indicative of greater capacity for AI in the future. Each pillar's strategic dimension consists of the following. The first dimension, the digitization and infrastructure. Second dimension, research and development. Third dimension, the workforce. the fourth dimension is regulation. There is really a need to track all of this, no? So to look the entire framework, so this is how it is, no? The framework of the national AI strategy in the Philippines. So as I've mentioned, you have the implementation, you have the 4 strategic dimensions, you have the 7 strategic imperatives. For digitization and infrastructure, you have built a robust network environment, improve data access and data value extraction. For the for the workforce development, nurture future AI talent. That is what we're doing now. Upskill and reskill workforce. It doesn't mean you're doing this, you cannot do AI, no? So there must be a reskilling. And then regulation, develop an AI economy conscience. Now for the research and development, accelerate innovation with AI and master and push the boundaries of AI. Actually, those small boxes on the right side, there are plenty of offices or agencies that will handle this, no? So that is the entire roadmap of AI strategy in the Philippines. So what are the imperatives and drivers of AI development? So this is based on our Department of Information, Communication, and Technology Undersecretary Maria Castro, as mentioned in the report of Peter C. in UP in 2022. Adjustment of the policy environment for research and development. We're doing that. In fact, I'm part of the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry. So I'm the chair of the research and development. So we're inviting academicians to submit papers related to R&D. Okay, so we're moving towards that direction. Creation of demand and knowledge management. I think all of us are aware of all of this, no? Especially the knowledge management. Okay, so what is now the future of the Philippines and the neighboring countries in Asia? The Philippines, actually, if you look at other Asian countries, let us see Asian countries. Number 1, you have, my God, Indonesia is $366 billion for the future of AI. So meaning we're expecting that much to come, no, to these countries. Then you have Thailand, 117 billion. Then you have Malaysia, 115 billion. Singapore, 110. Vietnam, 109. So where is the Philippines? Sadly, we only have 92. But at least we can generate 92 billion out of this AI to our different sectors. So to conclude, the Philippine artificial intelligence in the country is still in the infant stage. So many things to be done in order to sustain the country's economic growth in the age of artificial intelligence. Although it shows good prospect for the Philippine economy in terms of increasing investment and gross domestic product, there is still area for improvement in the following 4 pillars. The Global Innovation Index. Number 1, institutions. Number 2, human capital and research. That's why we're doing this kind of exercise or exercises. Market sophistication and infrastructure. The National Artificial Intelligence Strategy, as I mentioned a while ago, the AI framework of the Philippines requires more push from the government. At the same time, with the private sector and other stakeholders in this area. By saying this so, it is only we can really achieve the highest level of category of Industry 4.0 in the Philippines. With that, thank you very much.
Okay, good. Thank you, Dr. Ruben Naif. Yes, yeah. AI, artificial intelligence. Yeah, we can see the huge impact of the AI in the world. Yeah, all of the countries now have to face this new era, have to prepare everything, every sector to challenge the AI technology, have to pace with another country to adapt to the advanced technology. Okay, and these issues will be continued by Dr. Marlon, talking about AI as well. in the education sector. Thank you very much, Dr. Ruben Naif. Yeah, I'm sure that there will be many questions to discuss in the last session about AI. Okay, now let's get the third speaker, and please welcome Dr. Marlon Rael Astillero from Thailand. Hello, Dr. Marlon. Yes, Dr. Marlon. Khop Khun Kha. Sawadika. Selamat siang, Dr. Marlon. Halo.
Hello, hello.
Yeah,
Can you hear me
yeah.
now? Thank you very much. Selamat siang Indonesia.
Selamat siang.
Terima
Iya, selamat datang.
terima kasih banyak
Terima kasih. Kapun Kha. Okay.
terima kasih Untag, especially to His Excellency Professor Dr. Mulyanto, Director of Untag, for the kind invitation to
Yes.
this distinguished gathering of learned individuals. I don't think this is my first time with Untag. I just happened to transfer to another school, so probably that's why you find me a newcomer. But thank you very much again for the kind invitation. So, am I clear, Madam?
Yes, your topic is very important, Dr.
Yes,
Estilero,
okay.
as most of us, most of the audiences here are the academician. We are in education sector. Yeah,
that's why,
artificial intelligence and the future education. How the education sector, what should we do facing the new era, the new advanced technology? Yeah.
I will leave the scholarly discussion to the other speakers because I am not scholarly myself. To my distinguished fellow speakers from different parts of Southeast Asia, the participants of this very timely international conference, selamat siang, good afternoon, or as we say here in Bangkok, sawadee kap.
Sawadee kap, sawadee kap.
I may just especially, if allow me to greet my compatriot, Dr. Ruben from Adamson. Sir, good afternoon, mabuhay Philippines.
Dr. Ruben, Philippines.
I am from the Philippines, who happen to be in Bangkok, Thailand.
Mabuhay talaga.
Yeah, I'm also a Filipino who happens to be.
So we're two here.
Yeah, we're two Filipinos in the house. Okay.
Good.
So as I mentioned, I will leave the scholarly discussion to the likes of Dr. Ruben. We will try instead to talk about ourselves because we are in the education sector, and I don't know how far have we gone as far as adaptation of artificial intelligence in our respective program. Anyway.
Okay.
So,
Doctor, so you have 30 minutes for presenting your paper. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yes, the time is yours.
Thank you. So if you heard these voices or you probably use its services, then you probably have realized that you are using artificial intelligence. And we have gone a long way since, let's just say, 10 years ago. Now we do not know if you are talking to a person or we're talking to something else. Okay? So the crazy thing about the advances of technology now is it's funny because computers are asking humans to prove if they are not robots. I don't know if you have experienced that. There's a reversal of role now. When you go online, the computer will ask you, be sure you are not a robot. So you probably have encountered this kind of thing to validate whether you are a robot or not. We call it as the CAPTCHA. So before we are afraid of robots, now It's very funny because the computer now wants to know if you are a human being. So the downside of technology. But anyway, technology is here. Artificial intelligence. We no longer go back to the Stone Age. So the reality of artificial intelligence is it is both a centerpiece, if you can see it here, the centerpiece of a new industrial revolution and a career of technological progress that is changing societies and economies throughout the globe. You cannot think of an industry that is not affected or touched by artificial intelligence. As the one English song lyrics goes, the more you ignore it, the closer it gets. The reality is that we are talking about the future that is dominated by artificial intelligence, but the reality is the future is here. The future is now. So we are living in interesting times. That is the reality. Okay, we'll not go into the definition of artificial intelligence. The previous distinguished speaker already have the definition of intelligence. Artificial intelligence, mine here is a dictionary definition of artificial intelligence. You can actually just browse online and you can have tons, millions of pages dedicated to the definition of artificial intelligence. So how does artificial intelligence, what are the effects or how does it affect businesses these days? So according to the data by some expert or some researchers, those industry researchers, you can say that 35% of companies actually are using AI and 42% of companies are exploring AI for its explanation in the future. Leading businesses, 91.5% of businesses are actually investing on AI. It's not enough that you have an AI, you need to keep on upgrading it. As far as customer satisfaction is concerned, it is expected to grow 25% by 2023, and that is this year. 44% of the private sector companies plan to invest in AI systems this year. So AI is something you cannot live on the planning stage and discuss it every meeting. You have to do something about it. Okay. Let's go to the next. If you look at the statistics here, the percentage of marketers that use chatbots, which is actually mentioned by Dr. Ruben, 80% of these marketers are actually using it for customer engagement strategies. Total online customer uses interactions are actually done through AI-powered chatbot. 90% of businesses have currently adopted AI, and they are considering using AI for sales forecast in the future. So if you look around you, if we look around us, it's everything AI, fueled by AI. For us, we probably are not very much aware of it, but most of us are using AI also and are doing our everyday mundane tasks. 97% of mobile phone users are using AI-powered voice assistants. More than 4 billion devices now are actually AI powered, and 40% of people actually use voice search function at least once a day. But the problem here is that Dr. Ruben previously said you don't have to worry, you don't get to lose your job because of that. That is true because according to this slide, way back in 2020, AI has created over 500,000 new jobs around the world. However, there are challenges, which you can see 56%, the number one here is staff don't have the necessary skills in order to be able to, for them to work in an AI environment. And according to the World Economic Forum, the Future of Jobs report, it was way back, I think that is in 2022 or 23, 97 million jobs will be created by 2025 due to AI. But the downside is 85 million jobs will also be replaced by machines with AI also by 2025. That will be 2 years from now. However, despite the misconception, just like what Dr. Ruben, the previous speaker, said, automation and AI may decrease some job opportunities, but may actually prompt a huge spike in new positions. So, according to the same report by the World Economic Forum, The Future of Jobs, these are the top 10 fastest growing jobs. And on the right side, you can also see the fastest declining jobs due to that will be affected by AI. So it will be more likely administrative job will be most likely more affected. The paper job, the usual, administrative kind of job will be affected by artificial intelligence. So we in the academy might be or should be able to prepare our students with a job that is not yet existing, because you are just preparing them with the usual kind of preparation that we have in our school. But by the time that they graduate, they may not be able to find jobs because they don't have the skills necessary for them to be able to work in an AI-infused environment. So the same World Economic Forum data, it says here, these are the 10 skills needed in 2025. And that is not too far away. That's not too far off because we are now in 2023. So analytical thinking and innovation and so on and so forth, which if I have to be honest, most of the students now are just relying on Google. They no longer like the usual analysis and all. So they have smartphones. The problem there is their smartphones are smarter than them. Students are relying so much on online research, copy pastes, and even the link, you have to submit it, print it, it's still in blue color. It's still clickable after submitting. So these are the kind of things which we in the academy should be able to really develop, the kind of skills that will allow them to have a place working in an environment that is actually more into artificial intelligence. So here, these are the 10 skills on the rise, which probably some of us will say that, oh, we have done that in school, the creative thinking, the analytical thinking. Technological literacy, what does it mean? For some of us, we don't even know how to mute our microphone. We don't even know how to download old school style of teaching. We resist online classes because we feel that that is not the best way to do classes or do things. And for most of us, we always say, oh, I'm old enough to learn new things. But the reality now is it's no longer lifetime employment, but it's about lifetime employability. It's no longer an excuse to say, oh, I will leave it to the younger generation of teachers to be technologically literate. I'm okay with my, the usual whiteboard marker and all these things. The problem is that we are now, as I said, we are living in the interesting era or age, and wherein we have to adapt to technology, whether we like it or we like it. Then the lifelong learning, the idea that you have to learn and learn, relearn. So these are the things which probably we just read in the books. You probably just heard it in another conference, but you don't actually have the real understanding of how it should be implemented in our own backyard. For most of us in the academe, I'm sorry, but I may be wrong, but we are not really prepared for all these things. So many of us are not technologically literate. So many of us are actually so old school but the problem with that is not, I'm not saying it's wrong, but we cannot teach 21st century learners with 20th century style of teaching. Okay. As far as the business top skills priorities for 2027, which is 4 years, barely 4 years from now, it's still the same: analytical thinking, creative thinking. Do we allow our students to have developed analytical thinking or creative thinking, or we still go by the usual true or false kind of examination that does not allow them to be analytical? Is the learning two-way, or are they just listening to us? Some of them probably are not even listening to us because they are already looking at their mobile phones. So these are the top skills that we should be able to develop in school with our students for them to have a place in the future working in the 21st century working environment. Now, moving on, according to this data from the same World Economic Forum to the future of jobs, 50% of all employees will need reskilling by 2025. And 40% of those workers who think they have what it takes to survive in an artificial intelligence workplace, you actually have to think again, because it says here 40% of current workers' core skills are expected to change in the next 5 years. So these are realities now. Now let's talk about us. Let's talk about us in the academe, in the education sector. What is the reality here? There was a conference, international forum, like 3 years ago, organized by UNESCO. According to that international forum, new education models are needed, possibly enabled by AI, Internet of Things, virtual reality, augmented reality, blockchain, and big data. It's already there 3 years ago. Where are we now? Are we developing competencies for the AI era, or are we still developing competencies based on pre-COVID working environment? So my presentation is not scholarly, it's more of a wake-up call for us in the academe. Where are we now as we entered the AI era? Okay. So the problem with the AI era is that we're talking big things, but in reality, many countries are improving school infrastructure, but the reality is 25% globally of primary schools don't have electricity, drinking water, basic sanitation. 50% don't have computers and don't have internet access. So we probably say, oh, that's still elementary school. But if the foundation is not good enough, they cannot catch up as they progress in the next level of their schooling. So this is actually a challenge. Educators realize or acknowledge the fact that technology must be a vital, including AI, must be a vital component of education. Over 47% of learning management tools will be powered by AI in the following 3 years. The problem during the COVID pandemic, when you ask someone teaching university, high school, elementary level, when you ask them about what is your learning management system, they cannot provide you the answer because most schools, they don't even know what is a learning management system is. How much more now that we are talking about AI? Next is that research shows that 20 to 40% of the current workload of teachers can actually be automated using current technology. But how technologically advanced are the schools using quote unquote current technology? When we say current technology, we probably think only about Wi-Fi connection, 4G, 5G. But actually, the computer is probably slower than a turtle, or I don't know. So that is what we have been. That's what we've been talking about. If we don't even have technology to talk about, so how about artificial intelligence? We cannot join the big league because our computers are not even fast enough to process something that we do every day. Preparation is the area with the most significant automation potential in education, with a reduction of up to 5 hours from teachers' current work hours. This is very good because it could have helped the work-life balance of those people working in the academe. Most teachers spend a lot of time preparing for anything, preparing administrative job and all these things. And this could have been reduced by at least 5 hours if we are going to automate these things. Okay. 39% of educational institutions are considering the usage of AI but have not yet begun to plan any action. Why is that? Because most of those running an institutional or learning institute, they look at these things from the perspective of costs, not as investment. You cannot actually deny that. They always say, oh, how much will it cost us? So most educational institutions are not very ready to level up their game plan because it always boils down to how much should we invest on this. So this is the reality. We go back to our individual universities. I'm working in another school now. When I first came to Thailand, I worked in a government university. And sometimes when you say we government universities, we probably sometimes think that so much money in government, it should not be a problem. But still, the university where I came from still doesn't even have like a really concrete learning management system. And to think it is supposed to be an institute, a technological university. That's where the irony comes in. Another one, 50% of educational institutions say that lack of clear strategy is holding them back from utilizing AI. So for most of us, for most of those in the top management, they really don't even have an idea of how AI should impact education. Let's have to be very frank about it. Education has become a business enterprise. So I invest, I should gain something. That's the reality now. So plus there is resistance, the resistance to adapt to new technology simply because of costs. So we will not be expecting to churn out or to graduate students who are competitive to work in an in the 21st century working environment, which is that considered as the AI era. Okay, so this is something which I think if we want to be competitive, if we want to come up with good graduates that will be successful or can find a job in the next 5 years, the next 10 years. So maybe it's about time to go back to the planning table and discuss it seriously, and find or hire an expert to explain to us how does it affect us eventually. According to a report by the Global Market Insights, AI in the education market is predicted to exceed 80 billion by 2030, and the global use of AI in the education market could grow up to 3 billion in 2023. So these are some of the uses of AI, or some of the things that we can adopt in school with the AI infused automated assessment and grading tasks, AI-based intelligent assistant, smart content, personalized education, AI-powered tools for constructive feedback, tracking student performance, plagiarism detection, which is now very, very rampant because everything now is can be copied online. And I think all of us here are very familiar with ChatGPT, which is being used by some students to just come up with all these things to impress their professor, who are also not familiar with ChatGPT. This is the irony here, because our students are so much advanced, and yet the teachers are so much behind, and they are not really familiar with what's going on with the latest in the technology. The exam integrity, the chatbot, how do you pronounce that one? Then the learning management system, the lecture transcription, academic research, student engagement, and success matrix. Okay, so these are some of the things which honestly I even haven't seen in my job here in Bangkok, even in my previous university, which is a government university. So maybe some of us here in attending this conference are very much familiar with that. Some of the universities may be even advanced or well ahead of the rest, which is very good. So maybe we should come together again and share best practices as far as how artificial intelligence in that particular university are being adapted. Okay, so the realities of education here now, before we jump into the artificial intelligence, even according to this state secretary of Croatia, she even said that millions of children still could not read, write, or do basic mathematics skills even after several years in school. I'm very, very sad to admit this one, that even in my country, comprehension is still very disappointing. Sometimes you wonder what happened to those years of being in school, and they cannot even comprehend, and you cannot even explain, and they can even do basic mathematics skills. More so if you will not allow them to use internet. So they will probably, nobody now goes to the library. They usually just go online. Nobody wants to go to the library. We have a library here, and students go there to sleep. They no longer they no longer browse books. So this is the sad reality here. In Cambodia, there are 43 students per teacher, one of the worst ratios in Asia Pacific, of which only 47% of Cambodians actually get to the final year of secondary education. So what will the future be like to these students when they are faced or they are working in a 21st working environment powered by AI? Then the model of education here said the factory model of education, the one size fits all mentality that is fragmented instead of we're more focused on test scores. Universities are more focused on ranking as well. And instead, there is no integration across discipline, subjects, or field. They probably offer several courses in college, but students do not even know why they're taking these courses, how it should be related to another course or another subject or whatever. So this is one of the challenges, also basic things that we need to go and discuss with whoever is the decision makers in our organization. Okay, another one here is teaching is poor quality in large parts of the region, according to the study by Asian Development Bank. Teaching is poor quality. Some economies in the region have very low levels of learning. So in at least 6 Asian countries, more than half of children are not even achieving basic literacy and numeracy by the end of primary school. So that is the reality here. Then education access, there is access now to education. But however, are they getting the quality, the level of quality education? So because of overcrowded classrooms, lack of learning materials, poor teaching style, methodology, and all, so there is access to education, but students remain not so not developed at all. According to this study, PISA, students in Indonesia scored lower than the OECD average in reading, mathematics, and science. And school principals in Indonesia reported more staff shortage and more material shortage than the OECD average, which is Indonesia is not alone. My beautiful country, which is the Philippines, is also suffering the same kind of malady in the education sector. So we can say we are in the same boat together. So you can go and check the PISA website for the details of this. Another one that is actually a challenge for us is how do we compete with technology? How do we compete with TikTok? How do we compete with Facebook, Instagram? So 98% of children in Southeast Asia use mobile devices. The problem here is they are not using mobile devices to learn more. They are using mobile devices in order for them to chat with their friends, to make videos for TikTok and for whatever things there. So highly distracted youth population chasing ephemeral goals such as likes. For them, they seek validation online through number of likes of their posts. So the more likes, the better they feel. Okay. Teachers and parents are now competing with not just TV and video games for kids' attention, but also TikTok and whatever comes after it. So now, what should we do in the education sector? Are the lessons we teach, the curriculum we follow is aligned to future employment skills requirement? Are the curricula and the learning pathways now adapted to focus on specific skills development? Or is it still geared towards roles and degrees? How about us teachers and administrators? Are we prepared for our AI-infused working environment, or are we still stuck in pre-COVID mentality? With that question, I would like to rest my case. Thank you very much, Untag, for the kind invitation. Kompun Kap, terima kasih banyak.
Terima kasih banyak. Thank you, Kopkun Krab. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Marlon. Yes. We know now, we realize now that everything is changing. Thank you. You have given us many facts and complete data concerning the AI. There are some fastest growing jobs. There are some fastest declining jobs. Some skills on the rise, some skills on the top priorities, 2027. Yeah. So we know now, we realize everything. And the important statement is that 50% of employees need to reskilling. Yeah. So we are in the education sector. What should we do? How should we respond to this problem? Yeah, we have to discuss more and more. Thank you, Dr. Marlon. Thank you very much for the wonderful presentation. Okay, now finally we get the last speaker, Dr. Alexander de Souza Guterres, LIC. Yeah, selamat siang, good afternoon. Yeah, Dr. Alex from Timor-Leste, Universidade da Paz. Selamat datang di Untag kembali. We meet again for the second time. Thank you for spending your time for us. Yes, your paper is a model of tourism systems in a tourism area. Yep. As we all know that during the pandemic COVID-19, the sector that was getting terrible bad was the tourism. It was collapsed because of the pandemic. So it is the right time to talk here, to discuss, to revive, to revitalize, to push again the tourism world, tourism area. Okay, Dr. Alexander, and you are now ready to discuss with us. Yes, please. It is your stage now. Thank you.
Selamat di Timor Leste sekarang, selamat
sore.
Iya.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. Good afternoon for all of you. Thank you for the given opportunity before I'm delivering this presentation. The first, let me introduce myself, Dr. Alexandre de Souza Guterres, as a senior lecturer at the Dapas University di Timor-Leste. I would also like to greet the organizing committee, speaker, and the participant at the seminar. Okay, here I will present a presentation in this journal with the theme. Maybe because I'm the last speaker, I will explain the PowerPoint for the audience. I think the audience already boring. Okay. Let me. This is the theme of the journal: a model of tourism system in a tourism area. Okay. The function tourism system consists of the 6 demands. After I explain this, I want to give information. This is the literature review journal. So why I'm use them for the journal, because the Timor-Leste situation now, last month we already have a new government from the election. So the phenomena issued in here, the activity of the tourism already control and have the system for the government, the last government, but they still the implementation still allow, I think. So the literature review I think can give a reference, the new reference for the new government here. So the theme of the journal, I make this a model of tourism system in tourism area. Okay. Introduction. The functional tourism system consistent of 6 demands. Of them, first, to determine the expectation of travel. To travel a place, tourism need transportation. Third, a tourist spot need to provide good route access. Fourth, the attractiveness of a place including natural resource. Fifth, to attract a tourist, the spot produces service and product. Sixth, system is providing information and promotion. Continue. A literature review, where there are several experts and the theory use is, we use the some expert opinion here. The first expert, Bertillon, 1972, from Laper, 1990. Tourism model, set of elements standing in interrelation among themselves and with the environment. Next, Mill and Mauricio, 1985, tourism a system of various elements arranged like eco-waves. And the next expert, 1994, tourism a system that works as a functional system. And another expert, Melintos et al., 2000, defined the tourism system based on the supply and demand perspective. And the last expert, Inscape, 1991, defines tourism become essential to social and economic activity nowadays world. Continue. A research methodology. The research methodology used is qualitative descriptive in a tool in which the research collects some documentation from journal, article, academic book to analyze what element exists in a tourism system that can be used in tourism area. Continue. A result of the research. From labor opinion study, it can be concluded that the concept, you can see in the PowerPoint, the tourism industry consists of series of companies that produces and offer various service or product. And explain also, the labor explain also, the tourism service industry has become one of the pillars in the shopping economy activity compared to the several other sectors. And the other explain from the labor, the size of the company, location on domicile, geographical location, functional form of organization that manage, and method of marketing as well. And the last explanation from the labor, the tourism areas will develop a tourism potential and service industry. Next. This labor study can be labor study can be seen in this image or the pictures. In this image, they are pillar of tourism activity process where from travel generation region towards transit route region, then towards tourist destination region. This is a model of labor for the model of system tourism. Next. The tourism generation region, the tourism explanation of this model can be clarified in this slide. The tourism generation region, the tourism origin area is place where the process push or pull factor echo where a TZR area must be able to evoke a sense of making tourism travel living their country. The tourism destination after accommodation in the form of resort or hotel, arts and cultural performance. Those organizations are marketing sector, the carrier, the accommodation and tourism attraction, the tour operator, the supporting or miscellaneous, and the coordinating or regulator. Added also that from the next expert, Mill and Morizo, 1985, developed a tourism system model of spider network in which there are 4 subsystems contained, namely market, travel, marketing, and destination. Also explained that the tourism industry, national, regional, and local government play social, cultural aspect and natural research. And the last explain tourism motivation, information, previous experience, preference, expectation, and image are component of the demand subsystem. Continue. The next expert from Procer in Mason 2004 divided the tourism system into 4 subsystems, namely the tourism market, information, promotion, and direction, tourism destination, environment, and transportation and communication. And the other explained from Procer, based on the description above, research summarized the demand and supply system in tourism category into subsystem. Each subsystem has different step and function. However, they have intercorrelation to each other. It means those following subsystem become sequence of the first subsystem. Continue. From the result, exciting research, the resultant discussion is the first expert from Leiper model state that simple tourism system involving a region or country of origin of tourist, a region or country of destination, and a transit point and a generator that reserves the process. This model explains that the growth of tourism is strongly influenced by the high number of tourism from other regions who come to try every product offered. And the next expert for discussion, Mill and Mauricio, 1985, developed a tourism system model of spider network, where there are 4 subsystems contained in it, namely market, travel, marketing, and destination, where each component is related to one another. And the next expert from Procer in Mason 2004, 4 subsystem the tourism market is information, promotion, direction, tourist destination, environment, and transportation and communication. And the last expert in discussion from Leiper 1919, 7 major components: the marketing sector, the transportation, the accommodation sector, the tourist attraction sector, the tour operator sector, the miscellaneous sector, and the coordinator. A conclusion. The conclusion of the study is of the expert, the first, from the Leiper model tourism system consists of tourist production areas, tourist transit areas, and tourist destination areas. From Mill and Mauricio, model tourism system consists of market, travel, marketing, and destination. And from Hell, the other one expert, the tourism system consists of the tourism system is a supply and demand. And the last, the tourism system consists of tourism market, information, promotion, and instruction, tourist destination environment, and transportation and communication. So this is presentation. I think it's very short because I'm the last speaker for this seminar. I think only that I can explain for this PowerPoint. Maybe in the discuss, we can explore many things about the model tourism. Maybe in English not very clear. I will speak in Indonesian for the audience. I think. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, sure. Thank you, Dr. Alexander. Hopefully that the result of this research will benefit us to revive and revitalize the tourism area. Okay, so we can give a big applause for all the 4 speakers. Thank you very much to all for the 4 speakers. Yeah, thank you. Yes, 4 topics have been Yes, 4 topics have been discussed about the tourism by Dr. Guterres, about education by Dr. Marlon, about non-fungible token by Dr. Amirul, and about AI in deep by Professor Ruben Naif. Bapak-bapak, ibu-ibu, ladies and gentlemen, by the end of the presentation from the last speaker, now let's get the discussion session. 4 topics have been presented clearly. All are the latest issues, the warmest issues. So let us now having the discussion. It is your time, bapak-bapak, ibu-ibu, to have ask and question session. And okay, now let me give you chance for 5 questions in the first session. 5 questions in the first session. Yes, please raise your hand directly. Say in brief your question and which speaker to address. Yeah. Please short, brief, and directly go to the question point. Yes. Okay. Let us start now. Is there any question? Hello? Hello? Is there any question or not?
Bapak Johan Ping.
Oh yeah, Johan, Bapak Johan. Okay.
Fine, police.
Yeah. Yeah, from the IE 47.
Please.
Bapak Johan. Yes, please, Pak Johan.
Okay, thank you, moderator, Mrs. Kolis Hidayati. I'm not a question, but suggested for Mr. Dr. Alessandro de Souza about system tourism. I think it is attractive if the conclusion influences artificial in system tourism, because we see that very many application in tourism. I think that's it. Maybe there is something next explanation about AI in tourism. Okay, thank you.
Yes. Next question, please. Johan Pine. The first question. Next question, please.
Andilan.
Yeah. You, Steve? Yeah.
No. Andilan.
Okay. Is there any other question? How about Dr. Alexander? You will respond the statement from Pak Johan Pine. Hello.
Okay, thank you for Mr. John. Pak John, terima kasih atas masukannya. I think in the label have concept the 3 element. The concept of the attractiveness already used in the concept, the label concept. So I think maybe the next observation I will try to the observation for the attractiveness, especially for the attractiveness part, maybe the context of the Timor-Leste situation. I think this is a good idea. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yes, please, the next question. Yeah. Maybe I will have one question for Dr. Amirul, yeah? Maybe it's represent the questions of the audiences, yeah. It's about NFT, Dr. Amirul, yeah. As I read in internet, there is still debatable about NFT. Yeah, some say that it is halal, and some say it is haram. Yeah, actually, what is the matter to be debated? Yeah, what is the matter? So to say that it is halal or haram? Yeah, that's the first question. And the second question is, as I said before, I find the word cryptocurrency. Actually, what is the relationship between the cryptocurrency and the NFT? Yeah, two questions for Dr. Amiru. Thank you, Dr. Amiru. Are you still here? Hello? Yeah, Pak Gustav, Dr. Amiru is still here. Masih? Masih di sini? Are you still here, Dr. Amirul? Something wrong with the connection? Iya dah. Iya. Halo, dengar suara saya Pak Johan Paing.
Saya dengar, ya.
Iya. Ya, Pak Gustav. Halo.
Suaranya Ibu jelas, Bu?
Jelas ya?
Iya, sangat jelas.
Halo, Pak Dr. Amir is still here, Pak Gustav.
Wait, I'm calling Prof. Amirul.
Oh, ini tadi dari siapa ya? MR Astileru. My internet is very bad. MR Astileru.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Is there any other question from the audience? Okay. Okay, so yeah, Pak Amirul is not here.
Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry, I was away
Oh
to.
yeah, Dr. Yeah, Dr. Amirul.
Okay.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Prof.
sorry, I
I'm
was
calling
away.
you.
Is there any question for me? I'm sorry for
Thank
that.
you. Thank you. Yes, thank you very much.
You got my question, Dr. Amirul?
No, I wasn't. I was away to the restroom.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Maybe my questions represent all the audience here.
Yeah.
But because I read in the internet that there is still debatable about the NFT. Some says that it is halal, some say it is haram. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think? Actually, what is the matter to be debated? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Thank you for the questions. Yep. Yes, I think because this issue is still new for Islamic finance in general. But I would say that as per my sharing session just now, in general, and based on the technology that being used, it is okay. Yeah, it is acceptable to be used. But when it comes to the what kind of asset, and the nature of the asset, that is something that need to be closely monitored and scrutinized and also being checked. Yeah. So that, for example, as I mentioned, if let's say the asset is about painting, so the paintings should not, against the Islamic teaching, for example, and the way that it being sold and the transaction must be very clear. So those are the issues that must be dealt properly. But in general, in terms of the use of blockchain, the use of NFT, there is no Sharia issues with regard to that. Yeah, but what kind of asset, the transactions, and how does the process being conducted? So the focus must be given into that. Yeah, that would be my response. Is there anything else, or if not, I think that should be the case.
I'm sorry, Prof. Yeah, yes, it's the
Yeah,
mute.
that's all. Yeah, that's all.
Okay.
Oh ya, oh ya, oke, oke, Dokter Amir, ya, sudah.
Yep, I have responded, Madam.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Yes, and one more currency, one more question. Yeah, it's about the cryptocurrency. Actually, what is the relationship between NFT and cryptocurrency?
Okay, thank you. I think in general they are using the same technology. Okay, crypto also using blockchain, NFT also using blockchain as the technology. The difference is that how does it being minted or mined to some extent. So for crypto, I think as you have, I think as many of us here understood, so it being mined, by the crypto miner, for example, and it use a kind of sophisticated technology in order to mine that particular cryptocurrency. Whereby for NFT, basically, for example, yeah, if you have photos, pictures that uh, you want to sell it, yeah, over the internet, for example, and you want it to become as one of the NFT asset. So you can open up your account, upload it, and then it will be what we call it digitalized, yeah, as one of the asset, and you'll be given kind of metadata link, yeah, so that you are the owner of that particular link of that particular NFT asset. So it's kind of a very digital asset. Yeah? So the difference is that NFT, it deals more with photos, film, paintings, whereby crypto is basically a currency, what we call it as internet currency. So that will be the main difference in terms of the features of NFT and also crypto. But in terms of technology, they're using the same thing, blockchain.
Okay, okay. Okay, thank you very much. So is there any question to continue my question? Is there any question from the audience for the one of the four speaker? Okay, so one more questions for in education sector for Dr. Marlon, yeah.
Memang
Oh yeah.
with
Oh yeah.
Mr. Gel Da Costa.
Oh,
Any
okay.
question? Yes, please.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, please.
For the
Thank you,
host, Dr.
Joe Da Costa. Okay.
Thank you. Opportunity give me. Thank you to Mr. Dr. College, and thank you. My best regard to Professor Riyadi, Rector Untag. My best regard to Dean of the Economic Untag. I have any question about the Chinese. How can we fend off the China now wanting to rule the world about the economy? Is there another way to fend off the economy? What is now a repand in the world? Is there is a way to get rid of the China? Professor, I mean, my question for the Professor Amir. Thank you. How can prevent the economic around the China, around the business, around the world? prevented. It is the my ID. So until they can come, I think China is wow, very strong economy. How is the Professor Amir can prevent about the Chinese?
Yeah,
Chinese
so your
yes.
question is addressed to Dr. Amirul, yeah?
Yes,
Dr.
yes.
Amirul. Okay. Yes, Dr. Amirul. Are you still with us?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I hope I'm able to get your question. So basically you're asking about the impact of China and also how NFT, regard to them. I think if you look on the statistic, yeah, based on what I presented in the early session just now. So with regard to NFT, it's quite interesting to see that China is not into NFT, compared to others. So I believe that maybe due to some what we call it control that being imposed by the government. So I would say that if the control being being relaxed, for example, or lifted to certain areas, I would say that yes, we might see more activities with regard to NFT. But as of now, I would say that most of the NFT activities are being dominated by Europeans and in fact Asia as well, and also the other parts of the world. I think that will be my comment. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Other question, please. Other question.
May I?
Oh yeah, you again, Pak Johan, please. Yeah, boleh Pak.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
want to ask to Mr. Marlon.
Mr. Marlon.
Mr.
Okay.
Marlon, you open your presentation with very funny. When AI is asking us, "Are you robot?" Asking us if we are a robot. Mr. Marlon, we are very depends on artificial intelligence. What your opinion about risk management? When, how will we future if the technology of AI ini drop, damage, so we can use again? How about the risk management? Can you imagine about to mitigate this situation? So we can open computer, we can open calculator. So what will do?
Dr. Marlon. Yeah. Hello, Dr. Marlon. Dr. Marlon. Hello. Are you still here? Are you still with us? Is there any?
The other.
Women college?
Yeah. Dr. Marlon. Dr. Marlon.
Dr. Marlon Astero. Okay. Wait.
Okay. Any other question for another speakers? Hello, Dr. Marlon.
Maybe away from keyboard.
Yeah.
Dr. Marlon is not joined in Zoom.
Oh, okay. Where is?
Yes, where is? I don't know. Okay, wait.
We get the problem with the connection, yeah.
Yes,
Pak
the
Gustaf.
problem is
Yeah.
problem
So
connection. So,
Bapak-bapak, ibu-ibu, ladies and gentlemen, do you have any question or not? So, if there is no more question, it means that we can close this session. Pak Gustav?
yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, man. This is like a close event today.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. If there is no more question, it means that the explanation, the presentation is clear for us, yeah, and we can continue to have more discussion in detail maybe next time, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we finally come to the end of the main agenda. We finished all the session. We have learned a lot of new and important things. Let us close today's seminar by reciting Hamdalah. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin.
Alhamdulillahirabbil
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pak Primbang.
Thank you. Bu
It seems for
Dia,
sure that there
selamat
is
beribadah
a
haji.
yeah. It seems that
Selamat. Yeah.
high relationship
Thank you very
among
much.
all the topics.
See you
I'm
all.
sure this seminar is very interesting and it's useful for us as the references for the dissertation project, as the adding material for enhanced our knowledge. So thank you for all the audiences. Stay tuned till the end, till the last session. Especially for all the speakers, thank you very much for spending your time to be with us. Thank you for taking time off your busy schedules. Thank you for sharing the knowledge. Nice to meet you. See you next time. Stay healthy and safe. Nice and warm greeting for your family.
Amin.
See you next time also.
Thank you. It's
Thank
now
you very
16
much.
p.m. Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah, thank you and see you on the next agenda. Please forgive me for all the mistakes and
Next 2 years.
shortcomings. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum
Bye.
I live
Bye.
from
See you.
Paul.
Thank you.
Halo, Media. Hai juga. Masya
Selamat.
Allah.
Buat dia. Apa dia untuk perjalanan hajinya?
Di sini lagi Jumatan semua. Jalanan ditutup.
Sehat-sehat, Bu Dia.
Sehat.
Ya, buat hajinya. Rukun wajibnya haji, wukuf.
Belum setar, Pak De. Belum setar, Pak De. Di sini jamnya jam 11:27 menit. Iya, lagi Jumatan.
Iya, menikmati. Jin.
Ya.
Assalamualaikum.
Terima kasih. Terima kasih. Selamat siang. Selamat Riyadi.
Selamat siang. Terima kasih.
Turun. Terima kasih.
Sehat selalu.
Kita tutup ya, Billy. Thank you.
Terima kasih.
Ya.